Kingston University's Inclusive Curriculum Framework identifies a set of principles which collectively ensure the university values, supports and reflects its diverse student body and demonstrates the strength that this diversity offers to all students. The three principles of inclusivity are: firstly, to create an accessible curriculum; secondly, to enable students to see themselves reflected in the curriculum; and finally, to equip students with the skills to positively contribute to and work in a global and diverse environment. These principles can be delivered and enacted from concept to review, through curriculum content, learning and teaching, and assessment strategies, as well as through feed-forward mechanisms and the evaluation and review of teaching practices. The multidimensional framework can be used to inform individual teaching sessions, as well as to shape the development and enhancement of modules and academic programmes. Most significantly, it frames Kingston University's offer and informs its co-curricular programme and the transformation of its estate. The first principle of inclusivity, creating an accessible curriculum, is essential in ensuring that all students are at the heart of the learning process. Curricula must be accessible in both practical and conceptual terms. For example, the use of academic language in documentation must be considered, as it can be exclusionary and marginalise students from non-traditional backgrounds who may be less confident or conversant with academic terminology. Staff are also encouraged to consider the accessibility of their delivery and their own approachability. Office hours, for example, may not be universally accessible. Accessibility should also be a principle adopted in assessment. Effective scheduling and timely assessments help all students, but are particularly useful for students who have specific learning differences or disabilities, or for students who have caring and employment responsibilities beyond their studies. In addition, applying a diverse, flexible range of assessment styles, punctuated with a level of choice, will reduce the requirement for reasonable adjustments. Kingston's Inclusive Curriculum Framework encourages academic staff to regularly reflect on their academic offer, rethinking what they include in their teaching, what they exclude, and why. The second key principle of the Inclusive Curriculum Framework is ensuring that students see themselves reflected in the curriculum. This principle speaks to several high-profile student-led campaigns which have asked, "Why is my curriculum white?" and "Why isn't my professor black?" These campaigns demand that education be democratised, ensuring that multiple perspectives are embraced and celebrated. One such example at Kingston is Taking Race Live, which was developed by a multidisciplinary team across sociology, music and drama. Through classroom activities and field trips, students and staff brought critical understandings of race and ethnicity alive through their shared stories and experiences. Practical interventions are encouraged to ensure that all students see themselves as legitimate participants in higher education. Staff are also asked to enable co-creation of the curriculum by encouraging contributions from students through classroom discussion. The final principle of the Inclusive Framework is to equip students to work in a globalised and diverse world. Clearly, if students are exposed to multiple perspectives and life worlds, and they are encouraged to respect diversity and difference, then they will be better equipped to work collaboratively with others from a variety of cultures and positions. The framework encourages staff to use their learning and teaching spaces to ensure that students engage and interact through group work and debate. Implementing authentic assessments, which reflect real-world problems from multiple perspectives, will equip all students to progress in our increasingly integrated world and better reflect the skills required in the workforce. Kingston University is a proudly diverse and inclusive community whose graduates come from diverse backgrounds. Our Inclusive Curriculum Framework ensures that the institution delivers excellence in education to all.